All right, so I think we're ready. Christian, you can kick off the animations, and we're going to get ready. Okay, so first exercise is going to be the reverse wheelbarrow. We're going to have one white spring. If you don't have the white spring, I highly recommend it. Otherwise, use a black spring. The white spring gives you about 5 pounds of support when you fully push the carriage out. The black spring gives you about 15 pounds of support, so it gives you a lot more support. The black spring will make this exercise easier than the white spring. All right, so when you do that wheelbarrow, you want to keep your hips aligned with the shoulders and the knees. And just like you see on the avatar or with Heather, basically, we have a straight line connecting the shoulders, hips, and knees. Her torso is about a 45-degree angle starting at the knees. Shoulders are in the sockets. The arms are straight, but the elbows are slightly bent. And you can see right here with that close-up shot, you can really see the shoulders, lats, and triceps working. And Heather's doing a perfect position right here. So you see as she's moving the shoulders back and forth. Christian, you can see actually on that shot. So right over here, yes. So as she's slowly pushing the carriage back and forth, you can see that her torso is not moving at all. And guys, that's how you do the reverse wheelbarrow, or any wheelbarrow in matter of fact. Do that for a few more seconds, and then we're going to go to the next one, keeping the same springs. We're going to go into reverse bear 2. So go ahead, Heather, put your feet on the ground, and now keep your hands where they are on the carriage, and then now push with the legs. So the transition should be very fast, because essentially what you only do is you plant your feet, you secure your feet, you anchor your feet on the ground. You're going to keep your hands exactly on the same position on the carriage, and now you're going to press from the legs. So if you look at Heather again, close-up shot, you're going to see that she's keeping basically the hips and the shoulders perfectly aligned. And if I stand in front of Heather in the back of the micro, on the back of the micro, the hips are going to disappear behind the shoulder line. So keeping the hips and the shoulders aligned, back is in the neutral tabletop position, and then slowly pressing the carriage out for 4 counts and pulling in the carriage for 4 counts, working the shoulders, triceps, lats, and abs. And again, here in that close-up shot, you can see that perfect body alignment, that absolutely nothing is dropping as far as angle. As she's pushing the carriage out slowly and with the strictest control, the hips stay right behind the shoulders. There's absolutely no drop in the hips. And this is a great core stabilizer exercise. So wheelbarrow and bear exercise are fantastic to really get all the muscles really in the what I call the abdominal belt. Same thing over here. We want to keep the arms slightly bent so that the triceps absorb the impact, not the elbows. And then we're going to wrap our fingers, of course, around the ring of fire, securing our hands. In about 10 seconds, we're going to go to the first lunge. So I selected the Escalator Lunge in 5, 4, 3, 2. So we're going to put the left foot on the platform, right foot on the carriage. So this will be the lunge that we do to transition into the heavy movement. So for the Escalator Lunge, we're going to place or anchor our left foot on the platform. We're going to anchor the right foot in the middle of the carriage. Keeping the left leg straight, we're going to slowly press the carriage down and out. And as you do this, now Heather doesn't really need the pole, but you guys can use it. We're going to keep that knee right over here, always above the ankle. So as she's pushing the carriage forward and pulling the carriage back, you're going to notice that that knee, the right knee, is always above the right ankle. So it's very important. So all the weight is on the front heel, or on the back of the heel, on the front foot, right? Keeping the hips and the shoulders square, torso is in the perfect perpendicular alignment, and then she's slowly pushing the carriage out. Every single time she's moving the carriage out, she's going to that golden angle position, and the golden angle position is where you completely align the hip joint with the knee joint. So right here, she's right in it, and then she's going to use the glutes, hamstrings, inner thighs, and abs to pull herself back up. Beautiful. And you're going to see her abs engage over here when she does the exercise, because this is a core exercise. Very nice. In about 5 seconds, Heather, you're going to hold it right there and then go into the carriage kicks. So for the carriage kicks, now we're going to basically hold our position, and we're going to slowly press the carriage out, pressing from the right heel, keeping the left leg straight, and of course keeping the rest of the body alignment. So keeping the torso in that perfect perpendicular angle. Beautiful. So slowly pressing from the right heel, keeping the left leg straight, keeping the hips and the shoulders square. And again, if you need the pole is right there. Nice. Very nice, Heather. Drop the hips a little bit more for me. Beautiful. Excellent. Nice. Perfect. So we have about 25 seconds left in that movement. Then we're going to add the red spring to the white spring, or if you have the black spring, we'll add the red to the black spring. By the way, if a red and a black spring is too heavy, just go to one red, okay? This is going to be the skating next in about 10 seconds. And for the skating, we'll have the left foot on the platform, right foot on the carriage. In 5, 4, 3, 2, perfect. Bring the carriage in, add the red spring, turn to your left. And this is when we need the straps, yes or no? And then for the straps, you can put your feet basically inside it, and the straps are like a little seat belt. Now, when you do the skating, we're going to have the left foot on the platform, right foot on the carriage. Head over here has a very low profile, which I love, okay, because now she's really targeting the glutes and the hamstring in that movement. You don't have to go down this far, but you're going to get you're going to optimize the effect if you really can bend those legs and stay in that angle. Of course, you're going to have to hold that stomach in to brace that lower back. The weight, when you do the skating, you're going to have your weight equally distributed between the left and the right leg. That means that you're not going to have all your body weight on the left side or all your body weight on the right side. I want you to feel both thighs equally. So the left leg is going to stay bent. It's going to stabilize basically your body. Right leg is also stabilizing, but also responsible for pushing the carriage out. You should feel this in your glutes, in your outer thighs, and quads. Nice. If you feel too much to the lower back, you can grab the pole, you can lean against the pole, or you can actually put your hands on the handle for additional support. We have this for an extra, we're going to do this for an extra 10 seconds, and then we're going to go and do a minute of pulse. Nice. So slow, controlled, continuous, constant tension. Never bring the carriage all the way in or all the way out. Now go ahead and hold it halfway out. Perfect. Stay in that position. And pulse. Perfect. So pulse are micro movement. They're like short bursts of exercise, basically. But more than that, you know, a pulse is a micro movement. So you're going to stay within basically the golden angle ratio and just slowly or fast push yourself up and down. So whether the pulse is fast or slow, I don't really care, but you're going to keep it very isolated. You know, you're only going to move your body just up and down just a couple inches. That's it. And that's basically the pulse. So we have about 25 seconds left in that exercise. And then after that, we're going to keep the same springs. And then we're going to place our left foot on the floor. And then we're going to do the reverse skating. So we'll do skating 2 because the left foot is going to be on the platform, but we'll press from the left side. So that's going to be a different feeling. In 5, 4, 3, 2, perfect. Go ahead and place your left foot on the floor, right foot on the carriage. And now, okay, we got a superb angle over here. So now we're going to keep the right leg bent, and now we're going to press from the left side. Excellent. Perfect. So again, keeping the hips and the shoulders square, keeping that right leg exactly at that angle. And now we're slowly pressing the carriage out with the left leg. So out 1, out 2, out 3, out 4, and in 1, in 2, in 3, in 4. Perfect. And you got to be careful with the left foot on the floor. Heather is sliding a little bit over here. So you got to kind of make sure you have enough traction. This probably will be better on the carpet. If you have a very smooth surface, you might have a difficulty. I may have to create a strap for the floor now. Yes, maybe I'll do that. A strap that attaches to the handles and gives you a little more support if you want to do this pushing exercise. Nice. Yep. That's a good idea, right? Yep. And that's easy to do too. All right. I'll have a new accessory for you soon, guys. All right, you got 55 more seconds. So for this exercise, we do 2 minutes. Slowly pressing out. Do not forget about the breathing. Very important to breathe. When you breathe, I don't want you to breathe slowly. I want you to breathe fast. I want you to breathe in and out twice on the way out, in and out twice on the way in. So very important to maintain a healthy breathing, okay? It's very easy when you do this exercise to hold your breath, but actually you do not want that. Reminding you that the workout is a muscular endurance workout where we combine resistance and cardio. So very important to keep breathing. 20 more seconds. And then we're going to go into the reverse runner's lunge. So this is the exercise I was talking about earlier before we started. The animation is going to show something different. I'm going to show you a different exercise, but we're going to keep the same springs. And we're going to do a reverse runner's lunge 2. which means that we're going to keep our right foot on the floor, but put our left foot on the carriage. In 5, 4, 3, 2, bring the carriage in. So we're going to put the other right foot. Right foot on the floor. There you go. Left foot on the carriage. Perfect. So now we're going to press from the right leg. So when you look at this exercise, it looks like on the side like a moonwalker escalator 2, okay? But it's not what it is, because what makes this exercise a reverse runner's lunge is the fact that Heather over here has a red spring, okay? If we had a white spring, then it would be an escalator 2, and that would be the moonwalker. So some of the exercise sometimes can get confusing because from your angle, from your TV, from your screen, they look identical, but the spring makes the difference, whether it's a pulling or pushing exercise. And by the way, that's why I did the escalator before. I like the muscle fibers to confuse. I like to confuse the muscle fibers, and I like them to do perform different actions, sometimes just opposite action. We have an extra 23 seconds left on this exercise, and then we're gonna hold it halfway, and we're gonna go into a pulse. Good. Heather, how you doing? Good? Yes? You like that pushing exercise? Good. Very nice. Good. Yeah, it's effortless for Heather. She's just like, what time is it? How long you want these for? 2 hours? No problem. On the next one, hold it halfway right there. Keep that right knee underneath the right hip, keeping the torso in a perfect perpendicular angle. And then there's where pulse go up and down. There you go. And again, for the pulse, it can be fast, it can be slow. I don't really care. But what I want to see is a very small range of motion. You're going to stay within that 90-degree angle. Your left thigh should be on fire, also your right thigh. Very good. So we have an extra 30 seconds, and after that we're going to go back into the skating, so no change of springs. And for the skating now, we'll place our right foot on the platform, left foot on the carriage, facing you guys in 20 seconds. Good. So again, reminding you that whenever you do this exercise, look how the carriage is not moving. Look at the position of the left knee. The left knee stays right above the left ankle, and it's just a tiny movement right there, very isolated. So 5 more seconds, and then we're going to hop back on the platform, facing you, skating in 5, 4, 3, 2. Perfect. Right foot on the platform, left foot on the carriage. You're going to bend your legs, and then slowly pushing the carriage out. Very nice. And then, I give you about 15 seconds to go from one exercise to the next, which I think is a very generous time. It should only take you 1 or 2 seconds to really, transition from one exercise to the next. So when we do now the skating, we're going to have the right foot on the platform, left foot on the carriage. Again, the right leg is slightly bent, all right? We're going to keep that low profile. We're going to push the carriage out with the left foot. We're going to stabilize with the right leg and the left leg, but we're pressing from the left side. Again, I want your weight to be equally distributed between the right and the left side, and then slowly pressing the carriage out for 4 counts. So out, 1, out, 2, out, 3, out, 4, perfect, and then slowly back in, beautiful. And always timing the movement and the muscle contraction, right? Nice and slow. No momentum. Beautiful. So slow, controlled, continuous, constant tension. You have an extra 20 seconds. And then we're going to hold the carriage in place and go into a minute of pulse. How are you guys doing at home? Good? Some of you are already sitting on the couch. All right. That's okay. You just got to take it in blocks, and do a little bit, I say baby steps when you do a fitness. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it, and pulse. Go up, up, that's it, little pulse. Perfect. Nice. Good. 50 seconds of pulsing, keeping all the weight on the heels. And again, when you do the pulse, I want you to keep the weight back on your heels. I don't want you to keep all your weight forward on your toes. Try to keep as much weight on your heel. Good. And that's why it's, sometimes it's advantageous to move slowly, because if you move fast, sometimes the momentum kind of just throws you off balance. So here you can actually just calibrate yourself slowly, but keep in that same low angle, okay? Try to really keep that 90-degree angled range when you do your pulse for the skater. Very nice. You got an extra 10 seconds. And then after that, still not changing the springs. I know, you're welcome. you're going to put your right foot on the floor, and then we're going to do the reverse skater number 2. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bring the carriage in, right foot on the floor, left foot on the carriage, bend the legs, and now we're going to keep the left leg bent and press with the right leg. So of all the skaters, this is my favorite one. Add that angle with the foot on the floor. I like this one a lot because you have to really think about this exercise. It's more natural to do the other movement where you press with the left leg, but this one you really have to think. You have to really focus. You have to really concentrate on the right leg, and I like that a lot. And that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I should make a little platform or a little strap over there just to give that leg some extra advantage. I'm very excited about the Mini coming out, guys, because the Mini is going to have the front platform that flips up a little bit, and that gives you just a nice angle for the ankle. So very nice support. Unfortunately, I thought of this after I had already made the micro. So, but don't worry, there's going to be probably something coming up. I don't know if next year or no, but definitely in a couple of years there will definitely be some extra options for a platform for the micro. All right, 1 more minute of this beautiful reverse runner's lunge. Sorry, this reverse skating. And after that, we'll do the reverse runner's lunge with the right foot. Good. Excellent. So again, here we have the red and the white spring. If you guys have not got the white spring yet, highly recommend it. The white springs just give you just enough. Matter of fact, when I do the exercise on the micros I use, I have 2 white spring. I really like actually the lighter tension. I know that I'm a big guy, but actually when I work out on the micro or on the mega, I actually like to work with the lighter tension because it allows me to keep control over the movement. And that's it. That's the most important part for me. All right, 15 more seconds. And then we're going to go into the reverse runner's lunge, right leg. Reverse runner's lunge, 2, right leg. In 5, 4, 3, 2, beautiful. Bring the carriage in. Quickly step on the ground. You're going to place your left foot now on the ground, right foot on the carriage. So from this angle, it looks like an escalator lunge 2, but it's not. It's a reverse runner's lunge because we have the red spring. So left foot on the ground, right foot on the carriage. Keep the right knee right above the right ankle, and then really keeping the hip low aligned with the right knee. And this exercise, essentially, you're pressing the carriage out with the left leg. So keeping the hips and the shoulder square, and then keeping all that weight on that right leg. Beautiful. Feel that? Nice. How's the red and white spring? Okay? It's good, right? Yeah, sorry. When I first made the micro, I think I overshot the strength with the red. It felt good at the time, and then I realized, it's a little too much tension maybe. So now we have 4 springs. You have a white, a black, a gray, and a red spring. The red spring goes about, it goes over 60 pounds. I think it's 72 pounds when you fully extend the springs. I forgot. We have the chart somewhere. It's on the website. The gray spring, I forgot how far the gray spring goes. I know the white and the black because I use the springs the most. Okay, so the gray is 30. Yeah. So 5, 15, 30, and 60. Yeah, that would kind of make sense, yeah. All right, in 5 seconds, we're going to hold it and go into the pulse. Right there, so keep both legs bent, and now pulse. And when you do that pulse, you want to keep the right knee right above the right ankle, keeping the left knee right underneath the left hip, keeping the torso in that perfect perpendicular position, and then just pulsing up and down. You can pulse fast, you can pulse slow. It doesn't matter, but you want to stay in that really low angle, keeping that right leg bent. And again, very important to keep breathing because now we're about 20 minutes into the workout. Now, Heather doesn't sweat that much. Some of you might be already profusely, sweating, and you need oxygen. About 20 minutes into the workout, this is when you start to exhaust your muscle fibers. And so it becomes very important to really focus on the breathing. Otherwise, you're going to experience premature fatigue, and it's not really muscle fatigue, it's just fatigue due to a lack of oxygen in your body. So really focus on breathing, especially now because we are the halfway point right now, 20 minutes. Bring the carriage in. We're going to go now into the standing on the thighs. We're going to remove the red spring, and we're going to place our left foot, left foot facing the other way. Left foot on the platform, right foot on the carriage, and then slowly, see, that's why I give you 15 seconds. It takes you about 15 seconds to think, midi, mighty, mo, right or left side? So left foot on the platform, right foot on the carriage, keep your chin up. And actually, it makes it challenging for us because when I look at Heather on the camera over here, the camera reversed Heather. So it's a little confusing. All right, this is why on the animation we have one side is black and one side is red. The red side is for right, the black side is for left. All right, when you do your standing on the thigh, very simple. You have your foot on the platform, foot on the carriage. When you open your legs, you're going to push the carriage and the platform out. Pretend that the platform is also moving. So we're moving the platform and the carriage away from each other and then back together. When you do it this way, you're keeping the balance in the muscles. So you don't need to do the standing on the thighs facing the other side. Now we will do it facing the other side, but just to let you know, that's the proper way of doing it. You want to use both inner thighs and outer thighs equally in this movement. So you bring the carriage in the platform together and out away from each other. Good. In 10 seconds, we're going to go back into the escalator lunge left side. So bring the carriage back in now. And now escalator lunge, yeah. Right foot and then left foot on the carriage. Perfect. You're going to slowly press the carriage out with the left leg. And then slowly bring the carriage back in. So keeping the left foot right on the carriage, keeping the right foot on the platform, keeping the hips and the shoulder square, chin up, chest out, abs engaged. And all the body weight here is going to be on the left leg. And again, very important, if you look at Heather's left knee, the left knee is right above the left ankle. Again, same body alignment. And when she lunges down, you can see how low she gets. The hips get exactly at the same level of the knee. That's the golden angle. That's where I want you to be. Now, if this is the first time doing this workout today, you might not be able to go all the way down. It might take you a few workouts to get to that golden angle, and that is totally fine. I never want you to push your body alignment. Allow your body time to adapt to this new type of workout. It might, like I said, it might take 2 or 3 sessions for your body and your connective tissues to get adjusted. But every single time you do this movement, you should be able to go a little deeper, a little lower. You should be able to go a little slower, have more control, and you should be able to last a little longer. Remember that this is going to be a process. It's not going to happen overnight, so be patient with yourself. On the next one, we're going to hold it halfway down and go right into the carriage kick. So now we're going into the escalator lunge carriage kick. So we're going to keep our right leg straight. Oh, I have a little bit of shaking on the right leg. Well, that's well, you can't see it here because when Heather shakes, it's like literally like a tiny high vibration. So you have to be very close. But the right leg is shaking. So yes, I get that. You know, it's hard to get her to shake and to sweat, by the way, because she's like a robot. This one, she's like a Terminator. So keep the right leg straight, keeping the hips and the shoulders square, chin up, and again, keeping all the weight on the back of the left heel. You have about 25 more seconds. Remember to hold that stomach in, to slowly push the carriage out, to consciously put all the weight on that left heel. You're really pushing from the heel. You're not pushing from the toes. And then really focusing on the back of that left leg again, keeping the abs in. Perfect. You have about 10 more seconds. After this, we have one more standing on the thigh. And then we're going to go into kneeling on the thighs, and then we'll go into our obliques. In 5, 4, 3, 2, bring the carriage in. There you go. Turning, facing the audience, and now go into the standing on the thighs. Perfect. So reminding you over here on this one again, that we're essentially pushing the platform and the carriage away from each other, okay? So you're not pushing the carriage away from the platform, you're pushing the platform and the carriage away from each other. So try to think of this bilateral movement, right? So you're pushing both at the same time. Keeping the hips and the shoulders square, holding the abs in, and then slowly pushing out. And when you're pulling, use both inner thighs to bring yourself in. When you do this exercise correctly, you should feel it in your lower abs, inner thighs, and glutes. Yes, the glutes, inner thighs, this whole section over here is involved to do this exercise, this movement. Now, of course, you can focus, you can choose to isolate your inner thighs, but I think it's a mistake because on the micro and on the mega and all the machines I make, these machines are really built to integrate those muscles together. you're going to get better results, and it's going to be safer on your connective tissue, safer on your muscles, your bones, when you integrate the muscles together. All right, 20 more seconds. And then what we're going to do, we're going to drop on the knees. We're going to remove the one wide spring. And then we're going to do a stretch for the inner thigh. So this will be the only stretch we do facing basically you guys. We're not going to repeat it facing the other side. In 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to get on the knees. Remove the wide spring. And then for this one, at first, we're just going to move the carriage out and move the carriage in a little bit. There you go. Perfect. I rarely do a stretch. I really work on those inner thighs. So there you have it. If you are bored by doing this one, you can use weight and do some shoulder press if you want to. You can do some, biceps, whatever you guys want to. Good. So on the purpose of this exercise here is to just open the hips a little bit more. There you go. Now remember that you don't want to get stuck, but if you get stuck, you can put your hands on the floor and then you're fine. All right, on the next one, you're going to keep your legs open right there. That's it. And now on this one, if you want to, you can actually put your hands on the floor and just stretch your inner thighs just a little more. Perfect. And then we'll hold it right there. Good. Now, like I said, I don't do many stretch usually during class, but I thought today I'll just break it up a little bit. When usually you see me doing a lot of stretch in a class, that means that the class is being maxed out. And so I do the stretch to kind of just buy time a little bit. Because sometimes I have classes and people are not fit to do the whole 55 minutes. So we'll have to kind of break it up. And then so we do a series of exercise and we stretch, go back to some exercise and stretch. Remember that for all my trainers out there, that you have to be adaptable as a teacher. You can't just always push your routine if people can't do it. All right, so now we're going to go into our first side plank. We can keep the no side spring, but we're going to do differently. We're going to have our right hand on the platform today. And I know I don't have this animation, but sorry. You're going to be on this side. Right hand on the platform, feet on the carriage. I know there's so many variations, but you'll see. There you go, this one. So I will have an animation for that one. Now, you're going to keep basically shoulders, hips, knees aligned. Left foot is going to be behind the right foot, or sometimes you can have your left foot on top of the right foot. That is totally fine. You can stay in a position if you want to, or you can slowly raise the hips up and then back down a little bit. If you do this, again, it's going to be a small range of motion because you don't have that much flexibility or that much range of motion in the hips right there. Nice. Excellent. And then Heather's doing a fantastic job keeping that... I have to look at you, yeah. Left arm above the right arm. That's it. Good. Excellent. So obliques. So we have an extra 20 seconds. Then we're going to go into the back, go into the French twist. Now, if you don't have the handles on the back, that's no problem. You can use the handles on the front and you can do the regular twister. So the next one is going to be the French twist to the right side, but you can also do the regular twister on the right side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the carriage in. We're going to add the wide spring back. And now we're going to go into the French twist. So the French twist is done on the back end. Right side, you're going to have both hands on the handles, feet on the carriage, left foot behind the right foot. And now we're going to actually fold and unfold the right side of the body. Nice. Excellent. Perfect. So now really focusing on that right side. Excellent. Slowly pushing the carriage out for 4 count, and then slowly bringing the carriage in for 4 count. And as you can see with Heather's, there's absolutely no movement whatsoever in the shoulders. Nice open space between the ears and the shoulders. So, and then of course open space in the scapula, in the shoulder blade area. Very nice. So slowly pulling from the right side, pulling and stabilizing. Now this exercise, like this one, we have the scrambled eggs also. They're kind of weird exercise because you kind of twist it and so on. But it gives you amazing mobility and strength in basically your abdominal belt. So, one day you're driving and you need to reach out to the back of the car and then grab something. You're not pulling a muscle. You're not pulling your lower back. You don't go, oh, and that's it. For 2 weeks now you got to go to the chiropractor. So very important to maintain strength throughout your entire range of motion and to basically keep your muscles or your movement mobile, right? All right, in 5 seconds, we're going to go to the giant spoon. So go ahead in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now we're going to be turning, facing the front, keeping the feet on the carriage, hands on the handles, perfect. And now we'll do a quick set, still a minute and 15 seconds of transverse abdominis. So the spoon is actually targets the deepest inner layer of abs called the transverse abdominis. This is what a lot of people refer as the core muscle. When they talk about the abs as a core, they refer to the transverse. So this isolate the transverse, and it also uses transverse stabilizer. So this is a highly effective exercise. When you do this exercise, you pull your abs in. So you'll see like some people, sometimes they have like a lot of defined abs, but the abs are kind of sticking out. That's because they're kind of just not really addressing the transverse. So if you want a flat stomach, you really want to shrink that waist, you always think about keeping your abs in. And matter of fact, you don't need to do any exercise for this. You could be driving, you could be at home, sitting in front of a computer and just consciously pulling the stomach in. And you're going to realize it's actually your heart rate is going to go up, and your body temperature is going to rise just by holding that stomach in, right? Working the transverse. That's what it is. So this is what we're working over here. You should feel pressure across your abs over here, and that's the transverse. We have 5 more seconds, and then we're going to go into the giant wheelbarrow in 5, 4, 3, 2. So now knees on the rear platform, hands on the carriage. So just like we did for the reverse wheelbarrow, for the giant wheelbarrow, we're going to keep the same body alignment. So keeping the hips aligned, the shoulders and the knees, keeping the shoulders in the sockets. Arms are straight, but the elbows are slightly bent, or the elbows are not locked. And then slowly pushing the carriage out and now pulling the carriage in. So the difference between doing this exercise and the one we did earlier when we first started the class with the reverse wheelbarrow is that when you are on the front of the micro, the spring will help you to stabilize your spine in that movement. Here, the spring is not helping you, it's working against you, so the intensity is multiplied. Now you have to physically move the carriage against the spring, and you're going to feel more contraction, or you're going to feel more effort in the triceps, shoulders, lats, and you will feel also a greater effort in the abs, or on the abs, as they are stabilizing your spine in that movement. 30 more seconds. Good. And Heather's doing a superb job here, really keeping that body completely aligned. That is the exercise. The exercise is to not drop the hips or not change your body position. And to do it that way, it takes a lot of strength. Even people who've been doing the class sometime for a year, they're constantly readjusting and things like that. So you just kind of do it this way. It takes a lot of mastery of the movement. And for people at home who've never done this and they think, oh, this is all easy exercises. No, it's not. They're really hard exercise. All right, you're going to turn in 5 seconds. You're going to get on the carriage and go into the reverse super crunch. 5, 4, 3, 2. Perfect. Reverse super crunch with your feet underneath the strap. Feet together, knees together. And then for this one, you can have your hands up, hands to the side. There's like so many arms position, whatever works for you. You can have your hands on your hips if you want to, on your chest. Sometimes people hold on to the carriage for additional support. Doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. The most important thing about this exercise is to keep your feet, knees together. Keep your tailbone tucked under to support that lower back. Really feel this in your abs. And then you can either move the carriage back and forth, keeping the torso on that same angle, or you can lean back a little bit and lean forward as you move your legs back and forth. Good. So we have an extra about 30 seconds. Then we'll put our hands behind your neck, and then we'll go to the opposite elbow and opposite knee, but not yet. Good. Heather, how are we doing over here? Good? Easy, right? Yes. Easy routine. How are you guys doing at home? Probably sweating already? All right. 10 more seconds. And then we're going to go into the reverse super crunch with obliques. Man, some of these titles are getting so long now. All right, so on the next one, go ahead, bring the right elbow to the left knee. When you do this exercise, I really want you guys to tap the elbow, to tap the knee with the left elbow. And then you go back in the middle, and then you do the other side. Perfect. So we'll do this. This will be basically our transitionary set to the French twist left side, and we have to do the side plank left side, and we have to do our obliques for the left side now. Good. Excellent. The obliques are very important. I think that a lot of us kind of, forget to work on those muscles. But obliques are very important. They help you to connect lower and upper body. And if you have strong and flexible obliques, it's going to really help you to manage life, especially as you get older, especially in your 40s, 50s, 60s. You're going to see that you're going to have that freedom to move in the hips that a lot of people lose because they never work out, first of all, but they never work on their obliques or never work on the mobility of the waist. So very important. 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to keep the one wide spring, go now into the French twist, which is now it's going to be on the left side. So keeping the hands on the handles, you're going to have your right foot in the back, left foot in the front. Again, shoulder stays in the sockets, arms are straight, elbows are slightly bent, and then slowly move the carriage out for 4 count and move the carriage in for 4 count, focusing on the left side, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Perfect. So slowly out for 4 count, slowly in for 4 counts. So out, 1, out, 2, out, 3, out, 4, and in. 1, in, 2, in, 3, in, 4. Perfect. So slow, control, continuous, constant tension, keeping the shoulders in the sockets, working the triceps. Perfect. 39 seconds left. And so what I decided to do, so when I do my routines, my virtual routines, I'm putting a little bit more time on each exercise so that I have more time to explain to you. Of course, if there's an exercise you don't understand, you can always leave a comment or email us about that. But I try to explain to you, so I spend a bit more time on each movement, trying to explain to you the importance of that movement, the importance of the alignment, and also sometimes the relationship between the exercise, because the sequence is, there's always a logic in the sequence. We just don't throw exercise on the wall and see what sticks. All right, on the next one, we're going to finish with the side plank, left side. So bring the carriage back in. We're going to remove the wide spring. Now we'll do the side plank, left side. So we're going to be on the left elbow, keeping the feet on the carriage. Left arm is aligned with the right arm, keeping the hips aligned with the shoulders and the knees. So for this movement, you can stay here if you want to. If you have a hard time, you can put your knees on the carriage instead. You can stay there, or you can also raise the hips up and down, get a little bit of movement. Good. So now we have about 50 seconds left. Perfect. So now we're targeting the left side, but the right side is also working. And then, just notice how small the range of motion is for Heather. She's not really moving the hips all the way up, all the way down, because then we would go out of the alignment. So it's a very focused, very short, concentrated movement, the movement of the hips. And in about 29 seconds, then we're going to integrate basically both the left and the right side with the hammer strength, the hammerhead. I love this exercise. Great exercise for your obliques. Good. And that will be our last exercise and the last oblique exercise. 10. That's it. 10 more seconds. Good. Look at that. Fantastic. And Heather is never dropping. I have a lot of people I work with, and most of them are dropping within 10-15 seconds. Now bring the carriage back in. And now we're going to keep the no springs attached. And now we're going to put both elbows, both forearms on the carriage. I want you to, when you do this exercise, you have to align yourself with number 2 on the rail. Number 2 is about the middle of the rail, right? And that's where you're going to put your feet. So if you look at Heather right now, her feet are right behind number 2. And she's going to slowly swing to the right and slowly swing to the left. Guys, if you have bought the Micro and you have not done this exercise yet, you are missing out. That is the entire reason that I made the Micro, is to do all these lateral movement on the ground. They are highly effective and they're so good for your spine. This is going to help you target your obliques in ways you can't at the gym. So I highly recommend to do this one. We have a series of side plank, side sweep. You have the sea serpent. There's like so many exercises you can do laterally like this using a carriage. They're really good. If you have the wide spring, you can also use the wide spring now. The wide spring is actually okay to do when you do hammerhead or sea serpent. These are great exercise. Very nice. It takes the first time, it's kind of weird because you don't really know how to engage it. but the second and the third time you do it, you feel more mobility. And as soon as you're able to feel those obliques, then you can really focus on them, and that's when all the magic happens. And then you're gonna get addicted because they're so good. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and now we're gonna finish with the last one, which is the child pose. So for the child pose, we're gonna put a black spring on, and then we're gonna come on the back end. So we'll put either the knees on the rear platform or knees on the ground, and then holding on to the carriage and just stretching over here. That's it. So that's the routine today, 40 minutes on the micro. This is basically a full body workout. If you have any questions, comments, concern, recommendations, suggestions, please email us or comment in the box. And then thank you so much, Heather. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. I hope that you had a great class, and then we'll see you next time. Bye.